Hi guys. Hi Heather. I know Heather is here anyway. Today I'm going to show, because I'm Irish, happy St. Brigid's Day, I'm going to show how to make the traditional four-legged cross. And I'm going to do what I like to call a witches or an occult cross with 3 legs, okay? Now, before I start, hey Rain, before I start, the very first most important thing is to cut the wool or twine or whatever you're using to tie it up, because it has happened a few times where I'm there in the middle of making it, trying to hold it all together with my one hand while I'm putting the pieces on with the other hand, and then I realize I have no wool cut. So I'm going to cut the wool first, because it drives me mad when I have no. Hey Heather. So I have 4 pieces cut, because I'm going to do the 4-legged one first, right? The traditional one. Now, so also when I cut the reeds, right? The reeds, there's absolutely tons of them around my parents' place at home, because we've our own well, and so the water's running down under the fields, so it's kind of wet enough for the reeds to grow. So I have longer ones here. So I just cut like mad, and then I tried to go through them. Hey Hershey. I tried to go through them, and there's shorter ones, and kind of separate them out into longer and shorter ones. Do you know what, Heather? Now I saw your comment. I don't know if it would be possible to even send one, because I mean it's kind of like a grass, and I don't know if it's legal to post it. Do you know? I don't know. I'll certainly ask in the post office and see what they say. So this live is for Hershey, because Hershey had, I don't know, did you comment in a video, or did I mention it in a live or something, and you said, or did I just tell you I'd do a live to show you how I make them, or was it on Facebook? I forget which. Anyway, somewhere we were talking, myself and Hershey were talking about the crosses, and I said I'd do a live to show. So this is a few, Hershey. So yeah, read contraband. I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'll find out, but who knows? And also there's the fact that, like, I know you can buy them, right, made of real reeds, not pipe cleaners or straws or any of that crap they use in school now, right, to teach the kids how to make them. But I know you can buy real ones, but they're always, yeah. When I sent you the blue nail polish, I actually called customs to see if it was legal. Lol. Yeah, you see, you don't know these days, and Ireland has gone so feckin' on these days. I mean, someone sent us, right, I'm not joking you, someone sent us 2 bottles of alcohol recently. Actually, it was in a bigger box of stuff. There was clothes, and there was all sorts of stuff in the box, right? My mother-in-law. And the box was opened by customs here in Ireland, and the 2 bottles of alcohol were taken out, because they figured we were going to be selling the alcohol. It was under some sales of alcohol act. They told us they took the alcohol. We're like, 2 bottles, like, what were we going to do selling 2 bottles? We were going mad. So we then had to pay about €25 to claim our bottles of alcohol that my mother-in-law sent us as a present. I mean, oh, Jesus Christ. When Rain sent me a lovely bottle of maple syrup, and it was, yeah, feckin' Egypts. It was, they had on the paperwork that it was valued at, say, €356. Customs charged me $357. This is the bullshit we're putting up with here. So let's get stuck into it. So I have the longer ones I'm going to use for the 4-legged cross, and then I'm going to use the shorter ones for the 3-legged cross, right? Hey Fatima, hey Hershey, hey Heather here, hey Rain. Did I miss anyone? I don't think I did. So what I do, right, is actually I had, hold on now till I take that off, because I had, yeah, there it is. Take my comment down, Jackie. I did, girl. So what I do is I get one of my reeds and I squish it in the middle, right? So if you squish it, it just flattens it and then you bend it a little bit, right? See it bent? Can you see it bent? Oh my God. I think I'd get my directions right. So there it is bent, right? Then I get another one and I squish it in the middle just to soften it, right? They're quite soft. And then I put one through the other. So then I have two put together. So I have a bottom leg and I have a side leg, okay? And then I rotate it to hold the second one. I hope you can see this properly now, lads. But anyway, if you're lucky, you'll see how beautiful it is when it's done, whether you can make head nor tail of what I'm actually doing or not. So I squish the middle of another one, bend it, and I put it this way. So now I have 3 legs, okay? So I'm holding tight to the middle all the time. See the 3 legs? Then I'm listening but working, friends, so I won't be commenting too much. No problem. I hope I can find some reeds in this area, but we have a lot of snow. Oh, God. So next one, and then we put it on this way. And now you can see we have 4 legs. Now you can't see what's in the middle because if I let it go, the whole thing will fall apart. But you can see I have 4 legs, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So then I rotate it. You get the next reed ready. And on like that. And I hold it together. I get the next one. Rotate and put it on the next side. Get the next one, rotate it, put it on the next one. So I'm just overlapping them over the, I mean, it's hard to see. Can you see the kind of overlapping there, right? You'll see that better when, yeah, kind of. You're like with basket weave, you're kind of going through, but these you're just like laying it over. Do you know? But it looks like basket weave in the middle when it's done. But you'll see it properly in a minute when I have it. I won't be letting go of that middle section until all the legs are tied, you know, so that nothing will fall apart. Now look, actually, wait, now you can kind of see it there a bit better. Yeah, see? So it just, yeah, it's a lovely basket weave kind of look to it. So I rotate it, get the next one, squish the middle, bend it, wrap it around. See, I can kind of let go of it then a little bit when it's getting that bit bigger. Do you know what? I think this is probably the most therapeutic thing. I said that earlier on in the live, I sat for about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe in the cafe today making them. And there was a few tourists coming in and they were saying how lovely it was to see someone making them. And a few people asked me, could they have one? So I ended up making about 10 while sitting there. But it's just so therapeutic to me. I just love making them. And I was telling people, like, I'd literally sit making these all day. So I might end up going out tomorrow to my parents' place and just cutting loads more and keep making them and keep handing them out over the weekend. So you can see there now how neat and tidy that looks, see? So it's just like you wrap it around there. You wrap it around the next leg. Oh, only a couple of minutes, Heather. If I'm fully concentrating and not talking and stuff. I'll try to show you now while holding it just that bit closer to the... So I'm holding this one. So I'm going to put it on around this leg. And they just go out there. And then I rotate. And I'm wrapping the next one here around this. Catch, there's a lot around here. You probably could. The thing with these is like why these are used is because they're just so soft. I mean, it's like grass, but it's not flat, or they're not flat. I don't know if they're in other countries. I really don't have a clue. But like they're like a tube. There's a hole in the end. See the hole in the end? Can you see the hole in the end? It's like a tube. So but it's nice and soft. for bending for making these, you know. So if they're pliable, Hershey, I think so. Yes, like big chives, exactly. Good woman. So there we go. So you can see how beautiful it is. I love making these. Yeah, if they're soft, they'd be doable. Most definitely. Sorry, you can't even see me now with me holding it up in front of my face. But anyway, it's about the cross, not me. So you just keep turning. So I have to tell you in a minute about the lake and what happened up at the lake one time, which was amazing rain. She's definitely there anyway, haunting the place. Now this is the last longer one, but I'm going to get a few more maybe. Hey, Sherry. Do you know what? I'll leave it at that because that's a nice size. I'm just going to tie it together now. I have to kind of put it down to tie it together because otherwise I'll end up leaving it go if I'm trying to hold it up in the air. But I shall tie it together and then show you the amazing work. Because the last thing I want to, hey Christine, across the pond. Welcome from across the pond. Now, so I have one side tied up there now. So you see, like I'm only on, what am I on? 12 minutes. I mean, I could have made this in 2 minutes, but it's just the fact that I'm talking and whatnot, you know. But I was flying through them in the cafe this morning. It was great fun. And people were stopping and asking me questions and asking me would I make them and telling me how great it was to see someone making them. And I was saying to them how in the schools now, oh, there's my strings, how in the schools now, if they do actually still, hey Monica, how in schools now, if they do actually still make them, like in my time, they would have used reeds. But then I know over the years they were using, oh, stop, Heather. So funny story, I was emailing Heather earlier on and she emailed me back and she says, in a cage, question mark. And I looked back on my email and I had said I was in a cafe all morning making St. Brigid's crosses. Only Bill Gates or whoever controls our phones and watches and listens to everything we say and do, changed it to cage. So Heather read, I was in a cage all morning making Brigid's crosses. So it was absolutely hilarious. So I have one lot tied now. So what I do is I tie them on one side, but then I flip them over and I just do another double knot at the back of the cross just to make sure it's definitely not going anywhere. Paper, I know, yeah. It was so funny. Because when I read in a cage question mark, I was like, what is she talking about? What did I say? And sure, of course, the word was changed for no good reason. So I have my scissors there because I cut off the long ends then just to pretty it up. I can't imagine what you thought was going on, Heather. Can't imagine. So I'm nearly there now, lads. I'm just going to tie another double knot. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. Yeah. You gotta love autocorrect. You absolutely do. So this is my 4-legged one. Now, normally I would use a nice brown earthy color, kind of a twine, you know, but I don't have any. So I just have lovely green wool. That'll have to do. Oh yeah, so I just cut then to pretty up the ends. And that's it done. Now, like I said, ones in shops that are perfectly green, I don't know, and that last, I don't know if they spray them with something or what. I assume they do, but I don't know what. But anyway, so there's my beautiful cross. So I suppose I should hold it this way because it is a cross. I love the way, you know, like the fact that it's not a straight. It's one up here and one down there, you know. So that's my gorgeous 4-legged cross. So I'm going to make a 3-legged cross now with the shorter ones just to show you. No problem, Hershey. I hope to God you'll be able to. Now, having said that, you could also, everything is on YouTube. YouTube's amazing. So I was trying to figure out how to crochet something recently, and I found the easiest YouTube video. The woman is a genius who taught it. And I literally only watched about 2 minutes of it, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I did the whole square. So do YouTube it anyway, Hershey, and you'll find a video where, you know, they'll be showing it up close and kind of holding it up to the camera to make sure you see every little bit that's done. But that's the finished product. So that's the 4-legged one. So I'll do a 3-legged one now as well. And then I'll tell you all about Mary Hannigan. Monica, you missed the beginning. Yeah, I'm making another one now anyway. So I just made a Brigid's cross with 4 legs. But as I was telling the lads, I do love to make one with 3 legs as well. What I like to call a witchy one or an occult one or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to get my, okay, some of these are useless. My shorter reeds. Hey, Teresa. So I have a little handful here of shorter ones. So what I said to the girls first was, before I start making, I cut my wool. Because there's nothing worse than trying to hold a cross together with one hand and realizing you have no wool cut. So let's do this. Let's do the wool first. I still can't believe Para Oracle on Mary using our haunted house tarot. My God. Let's wait till I tell you the story, like, of what happened. Sweet Jesus. Hey, Mel's here. Oh my God, you could take the month off work after selling 2 bottles of alcohol. Mel, it was the most ridiculous thing. Like, you know what this bloody country is like anyway. Everyone gloats about Ireland, but Jesus Christ, it's incredible the shit that goes on. St. Brigid's Cross material reads, hopefully in description, what are the, where's it gone? What are the materials used? I literally only cut some wool to tie the legs when I'm done. I have a scissors to kind of cut my reeds and just the reeds. So I have my bunch of reeds here ready to go. So I'm going to show you a 3-legged one now, lads. So it's the exact same thing. It's just you're not making 4 legs. I'll just rematch this one and I'll definitely get it figured out. Exactly, yeah. Or rewatch. No need to really watch any other, in my opinion. I'm sure they're beautiful, but I wanted, and you came through. Yeah. So same thing, lads. Only instead of holding the first two like this, I'll just be holding them like this and then putting my third one on out here, do you know? So that's too short right now. So I'll get my third one. So this is then what the 3-legged one will do, the witchy one, or will look like. So I just rotate. So now I'm putting this one on up here. And then I rotate again. The middle of these ones are even prettier, lads, when you see them up close when they're done. I just love the triangle in the middle, do you know? So I'm just going to do a certain amount of it. Hey, Maya. We have a couple of counties here so far, as well as countries, obviously. But as in counties in Ireland. So it's the same idea, lads. You're just squeezing the middle and bending it. Hey, Ben. So we have English Americans, Canadians, and then we have Irish, and we have Polish. So this is great, lads. Big team. So I'll show you this now up close, just because I have a bit of a pattern going. So there's the triangle of, oh my God, how do I, there we go. So there's the triangle on the middle of the three-legged one, or my witchy one, as I call it. German. Ah, nice one, Monica. Welcome, Germany. Lads, if there's any other countries I have missed, shout away. So, love these. I actually have enough left to make a few more, I'd say. So I was delighted, lads, this morning that I gave some stranger a cross. I haven't seen Frank yet, no. I'm the same, Heather. I'm my maiden name, because I'm Irish, I always assumed growing up that my maiden name was Irish, but it's actually Scandinavian, Norse. So we were Vikings. But then my mother's side was French and possibly Italian. So I like them both. The three seems easier to learn first to get the rhythm of it. Yeah, yeah. It is actually, you've less holding to do than with the 4. Yeah. So I'd say go for the 3. Just trying to find, yeah. Yeah. Apparently my great-grandmother wasn't my real great-grandmother. We don't know how true that is, but there was talks of an Italian opera singer being the real mother. So I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I think now I'm going to finish this one off. 6%. I need to find a longer one. There we go. Yeah, that's true, Fatima. Yeah, it's true. So I'm going to put this one on last, lads. So this is what the middle looks like. Absolutely beautiful, witchy cross. I love, or cross triangle even. So wherever you put on the last one, so I put on the last one down this leg. So I hold tight to that and put the first bit of wool on that, just so that the whole thing doesn't come apart. Because that last one you put on is what'll be keeping it together, do you know? Yeah. That's a big theory everywhere, isn't it, Heather, that we all started in Africa? I wouldn't dismiss that. Oh God, Ben. Ben is off at the top of the morning to you, Rain. Your soulmate. We don't bloody say that. Look at my... Do you know what I'm going to do? Look. Look. Read that, la. Feck off, you fecking idiot. That's what we say. Not top of the morning to you. 1% African. Cool. I love it. And I'm 1% Viking, which is cool. Oh, I love that cup too. Ben Jackie gets her knickers in a twist. Cheeky. Oh, come here. If I could send you the mug, I will. There's loads of them. They're a big tourist attraction or a souvenir in a shop here. I could definitely send a mug, Ben, I reckon. My email is on my information. Email me and I'll send you a mug. I love my mug. I had seen it one time in a shop in my town. Only it was like enamel. This one is, or sorry, like oh Jesus, tin or something. Whereas this one is proper enamel mug. I was very excited when I saw it in the shop that time, and when my husband was away somewhere, then one night at something or other, he bought me one, only a real mug. So lads, I'm just cutting off the ends there now, and then I'll show you the finished product. I must do my double knots actually as well, because I don't want the whole thing falling apart. 4% Scandinavian. How many 1%? That's not fair. I just have to tie my double knots, lads. I like to double up on the old knots just to make sure. Did I miss Michelle? Where's Michelle? Someone said, hey, Michelle. I didn't see her comment. How are you, Michelle? How is everyone? Is everyone good? I have to tell you about Mary now in a second, lads. She sounded like some kind of woman. So the last time I was up there, and I'm pretty sure I had said on my channel that I was going to film up there to show you. But what happened was, the last time I went up, the weather was absolutely atrocious. So there was absolutely no point in filming. So I'll have to do it the next time. And every time normally that I go up there, it's beautiful weather. And it was just shocking. So thanks, Hershey. Yes, guys, please do hit the all thumbs up and leave a comment afterwards too, lads. That'd be great. So lads, look at this look. I mean, how freaking cool is this? So this is my three-legged one. Where's my camera? There we go. So that's the beautiful middle there. Look, with the triangle. So there's my three-legged one. And those who missed the start, there's my four-legged one. So this is the traditional one, lads, with 4 legs, right? But this is the one I like to make with 3. Yeah, the triangle middle is just cool. Yeah. Real proper witchy one, isn't it? I love it. How beautiful is that? Now the two of them are gorgeous. I mean, this is the traditional one. I wouldn't say I don't like my traditional one either. This is a traditional Brigid's cross. People were looking at me today going, that's a Brigid's cross? I was like, it's a Jackie Brigid's cross. Power of 3, exactly. That's ace, Jackie. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Monica. I do love the 3-legged one. Yeah, it's very special. So I want to tell you, lads, about the lake, right? So the lake is about just over an hour away. It's in a different county, right? Actually, Maya, that's something we should do if you'd be interested in, is meeting up there sometime, because it couldn't be too far from you, I don't think either. Thank you so much for doing this, Jack. So you're very welcome. I was thinking how I drive. I mean, I was just going to kind of show them on camera anyway, you know, made. But when you had mentioned it, I was like, oh, it'd be lovely to show people how they're done. So this place about an hour away. It's in Tipperary, Maya, or even Mel. You're in Cork if you'd like to meet up there. It's a beautiful place. So there's a car park off the side of the mountain, and there's a big long walk down to a beautiful lake. It's a massive lake, right? Now on the map, it has the most boring name. It's called the Bay Loch, right? In Tip, yeah. In Tipperary. So It's in the Knockmealdown Mountains, which is, it's actually Tipperary, Waterford. One part of the road is Waterford and one part is Tip. Oh, nice one. So we have to meet up there, Maya, someday soon. Because I haven't been up there in ages. So you park in the car park, which is just a bit of a space off the side of the road. It's not an actual car park. But then there's a nice long walk down the mountain to the lake. Now the lake is like deep within the valley, so you have big mountains at either side, right? One time when I was up there about 2 years ago, I think it was during the first lockdown, or 3 years ago, whatever, with a friend of mine. I was up there with a friend of mine. She's very much a witchy person too. Sun was splitting the rocks. There was no wind, not even a breeze, nothing. It was a beautiful day, right? And we were down at the side of the lake. And I put my hand in and I pulled out a stone with like bits of crystals on it, right? And my friend said, oh, if you take something out of the lake now, you have to put something back in. You have to gift her something, this Petticoat Loose, she's called her nickname, right? And I'll tell you the story of that in a minute. But Mary Hannigan is her real name, was her real name. So she said, you'll have to put something else in now for Mary if you're taking something out of the lake. So I had made a cross. I'd made some 4-legged ones and I'd made some 3-legged ones. So I just flung the 3-legged one in and watched it float on down the lake, you know. And next thing, I'd love to have had it on film. There was this band down the middle of the lake of shimmery water, right? Like the rest of the lake was a lovely kind of a light, glistening water kind of a colour. And there was this black band down the middle, glistening now as well. But it was moving from the middle of the lake towards us, right? And when it got to the edge of the lake, right, I'm not joking, it was just this big white band down the middle of the lake, the whole length of the middle of the lake. And it started moving towards us as we were talking about her, and I threw in the cross. And when it got to the very edge of the lake, where we were only a few inches from it, lads, I'm not joking, as true as I'm sitting here, it was the freakiest thing ever. And the two of us saw it, felt it, the whole lot, right? We were talking about her. This massive gust of wind, like some sort of a tornado or something. Now, not that strong, but for Ireland, it was just because there was no wind whatsoever. This massive swirling gust of wind just came and just went through us and went back, and bang, it was gone again. It was just the coolest thing ever. And I was like, holy shit, she likes her cross. So that was our crazy experience up the lake with Mary Hannigan. So we were talking about her. We were giving her gifts. My friend was throwing in stuff. I was throwing in stuff. And just this band of black down the middle of the lake came slowly coming towards us. And when it got to the very edge of the lake, massive gust of wind swirled us around us a few times. And boom, gone just like that. Completely gone. Back to completely calm again. Not even a breeze. It was incredible. It was just the best. Yeah, it really was, lads. It was. So I just, every time I go up now, I sit and make some crosses, and I chat to her and gift her one, throw it into the lake, and that. I love that. Safe to say she liked the cross then. Absolutely. Yeah. So the story of Mary anyway, right, was now Mary, apparently we will need to bring gifts to the spirits of the place. Yeah. Well, that's what I do up there, Maya, is I make at least one cross and throw it in for her, So the story of Mary Hannigan, that was her real name. She apparently was built like a man, right? According to there's a big board up there, a big notice board with the story up there, and you can Google it. If you Google Petticoat, I'll have to put it in the comments. I'll put the link in the comments to the story, lads, right? In case I forget, someone might need to remind me, right? Maybe we all need a Jackie cross. So Mary Hannigan was built like a man, right? Apparently. She had a husband and someone, I forget who, She was considered a witch, and someone found out she was plotting to kill her husband. So the local priest banished her to the lake forevermore with nothing but a thimble. Right, you know what a thimble is now, that you put in your thumb when you're sewing, right? A thimble. Sorry, the lake is believed to be a bottomless lake, right? So she was banished to the lake with a thimble and told to empty it. Now she was a real person. I was told she did actually live up there. She did actually exist, and they did believe she was a witch and all the rest of it. But what some people, a lot of people believe, and a lot of people don't believe, is just the fact that she haunts the place, you know. But I have goosies, yeah. Like, I most certainly believe she's there anyway after that, because it was just crazy. There's a lot of people say that they wouldn't go into the lake. Because you know all these theories of, oh, if you go into the lake, she'll grab your leg and she'll pull you down. You know, all this kind of business. The fact is, she's my kind of people, so she wouldn't be doing it to me. So I wouldn't be too stressed. But I don't do water anyway. I'm happy just sitting on the edge of the lake, making the crosses and throwing them in and chatting to her and that kind of thing, you know. Yeah, Ben, it was so cool. So cool. So I actually haven't been there in so long. I mean, I'd go up there a few times a year because it is only an hour away. And actually, a lot of people would go up there on the motorways, and I always go up through the mountains because it's just, oh, there you go. Look at you. So she's called Petticoat Loose. Her name was Mary Hannigan, right? But she was called Petticoat Loose because in the story of her, she was always going around with an apron on, which is the petticoat. I love Here Local Laura. Could listen for hours. Yeah, I'll have to think of some more stories out, and we must do that. You were saying we do that live anyway, you know. I was always thinking, what's the word for this thing for finger in English language? Oh yeah, it's a thimble. Thimble. So she was banished to the lake with a thimble, nothing but a thimble, and told to empty the lake. And apparently she's still there to this day, haunting the place. So yeah. So anyone who's nearby, Mel, Maya, let me know if you want to meet up there, because I haven't been up there for a while and I'd love to go visit her. I'm getting Lady of the Lake vibes. Who, me? I'm the Lady of the Lake. Or her. Or the two of us. It's so cool up there, lads. Swear to God. So Rain has the link there, Petticoat Loose. So the petticoat was, or it's called people affectionately call it Petticoat Lucy's Lake. Lucy as in the girl's name. But it's because she was called Petticoat Loose, was her nickname, because she always went around with the petticoat on. And I could actually imagine her, because she was kind of described as a big manly woman. I could see her kind of with her meat knife, you know, the thing for like whacking the meat and cutting it up. So you can kind of imagine her as a big woman. I had a grandmother who looked like a man. So I can imagine what this woman looked like with the petticoat on. So, and the petticoat was always loose, apparently. So they called her Petticoat Loose, but it became affectionately known as Petticoat Lucy's Lake. What I actually want to do, Hershey, is film up there, you know, and just whether I do a live or just film it and post the video. But yes, photographs too, you know. I'll just stand above the lake first, because I always stop above the lake first in a little bit of a car park off the side of the road, on the main road. And the sheep, oh lads, the sheep then, like, we stopped for ages driving up the mountain because the sheep were they own the place. They're just strolling up ahead of you. So you just have to slow down or stop until they decide to head off up into the mountains or down the mountains or whatever, to get out of your way, you know. So they're brilliant. Yes, oh my God, we could sit and do tarot cards with Petticoat Lucy at the side of the lake. So we're on for that, so Maya, right? Just let me know when. It might have to be in a couple of weeks' time, because at the moment I'm working Saturday afternoons and Sunday mornings. But yeah, do Heather come over? Well, what we can do is, while we're up there, we can go live and just show you all as we're up there, you know. Or you can all get on planes, lads, and come over and we'll all go together, okay? So that's what, yeah. There's normally, so whenever you're off on a Saturday, perfect, we'll do that. Now, also, what we do have to factor in is the weather, right? So, like if we wake up on a Saturday morning and the weather is horrendous, do you know, if we plan to go on a Saturday and the weather's horrendous, obviously there's no point going up there because it's just so horrible up there in the bad weather. But normally when I go up there, it's absolutely beautiful. And I have to take you up to Grubb's grave too. So Grubb was Samuel Grubb was his name. Thanks, Ben. Samuel Grubb was I don't know, some sort of a politician or something or other in Tipperary. And when he was being buried, he wanted to be buried standing up on the mountain overlooking his land or the land he kind of worked or whatever. So he is in a standing grave up on the mountain. So when I go up there, I always go and park just below him first, and we walk up to his grave and we sit and chat to him and just take photographs, and you can see the whole of Tipperary from up there. And then we go back down the mountain, get back into the car, do a U-ey in the middle of the road, the middle of the mountains, and then we head back towards Petticoat Lucy's Lake, and we do that beautiful walk down to the lake, hang out down there with her for an hour, and then nice big trek back up the mountain again to the car park. And we stop in Lismore on the way, Lismore Castle, the public toilets. We stop there on the way and come back. That's what we do anyway. So yeah, it's a beautiful day out. I love going up there, and it's been ages. It's been far too long. So what you really have to do is wake up on a Saturday morning, realize it's a beautiful day, and say, come on, let's get in the car and go. Do you know, that kind of way? Because it's so changeable here too, obviously. Talking of lakes and water, I watched a TV show. Hold on now, let's stick that up there. A TV show about UFOs that were seen in a Welsh village in the 1970s by lots of witnesses. They said the UFO went into the sea. Oh, wow. Is that on Netflix by any chance? I'd be watching all these kind of things on Netflix. I absolutely love it. TV show about UFOs that were seen in a Welsh village. Do you know what? I could actually Google it and find it anyway. That's a good idea. Scared myself silly. That's gas. Oh, I love watching stuff like that. Oh, yay. Any idea what it's called, Ben? Part of a documentary series. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of UFO series, yeah, on Netflix. So I could have seen it because I go through all those things. I love anything. Oh my God, anything to do with angels, demons, do please. Angels, demons, werewolves, vampires, UFOs. I don't like saying ghosts because that's a bit of a corny word. But you know, spirits, any of that kind of stuff. I don't watch horror, not in a million years, but anything just otherworldly I love, which is why I love my actually I'll show you, look. And I do have a few more pieces. I do have 2 necklaces, but this earring is Moldavite. And I just love how Moldavite was formed. I love the fact that it's extraterrestrial. Now, I do normally have tinnitus when I'm wearing any of my Moldavite. But I love it too much, so I keep wearing it. There is the Tarot coming to cinemas in May. Horror. Ugh. More people will be afraid of this amazing tool. Oh, Jesus, really? Hershey, I love watching that kind of stuff too. I love all that kind of stuff. Like, oh my God. Moldavite's a powerful stone. Absolutely. Yes, me too, Jackie. It fascinates me. Very intrigued by supernatural and UFO. I don't know how what you know about Moldavite, but Moldavite, about 15 million years ago, a meteorite hit the Earth, and it was kind of mainly in Germany, but it was on the border with Czech Republic. And because it would have been something like 2200 degrees or something, melted all the. You know, if you throw, obviously you probably know this, but if you throw a rock into the water, loads of droplets of water splash up, right? So when the meteorite hit the Earth 15 million years ago, it melted the ground immediately, or the Earth, let's say. But that all splashed way up out through the atmosphere into the stratosphere. And then it was so cold up there, it instantly formed into moldavite, which is not a crystal. It's what's that classed as? Jesus, I can't even think of the word now. It does look like a raisin, yeah. Oh, it's classed as glass, actually. Sorry, yeah, it's classed as glass. Oh, yes, you're swimming, of course. Bye, Maya. Thanks a million for coming in. We'll start out going to Tipperary soon. So, yeah, so it all cooled then up in the stratosphere, and all the pieces of moldavite came shooting back down to Earth, and all landed mainly in the Czech Republic, but there is some, or was some, in Germany. I think there's not much of it left now, because as Heather said, they've dug up most of it. They haven't been able to find a lot more. So the majority of it would be, of the real stuff, would already be owned by people all over the world. And there's a horrendous amount of fake stuff. I always, if anyone ever mentions moldavite to me, I always say, do not buy some unless you send me a link so I can look and decipher whether it's real or not first, because it's horrendous. And it's, yeah, I always tell people, don't buy it without showing it to me. Thanks, Rain. There is a good movie out called Reading. Okay, that's wonderful. I think it's a thriller. I'll have to look that up too. It's awful stuff. There's one guy on what? On Etsy. Now, he has real crystals. I do know his stuff is real. But in the descriptions of every crystal he sells, I think he's in the UK, in the description of every crystal he sells, he has the word moldavite in capital letters. So I contacted him one time and I said, this is fake or false advertising. I said, this is not moldavite. This is whatever. I know he has Libyan desert glass as well, and he has loads of other crystals, but I think I kind of sent him a message through a post selling Libyan desert glass. I said, this is not moldavite. I said, this is completely false advertising. It's illegal. Take the word moldavite out of all the posts that are not moldavite. And he went on and on. My moldavite is real. I says, I don't care. I said, I know your moldavite is real. I said, I can see it's real. But I said, you're calling everything you're selling moldavite. And I said, and that's illegal. It's false advertising. Take them down or I'm reporting you to Etsy. And this went on and on and on, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And eventually he admitted that he only put up moldavite in everything, under everything, to get people to be drawn to those posts, and I just thought, no, it's still wrong. And then he says, oh, I'll take it down and I'll give you 10% off your next purchase. I'd never purchased that from him anyway. But I was like, I'm certainly not going purchasing something from you when you're have all this fake, this false advertising. It's just, it pissed me off. But he actually didn't. He told me he'd take it down, but he didn't. He never did. Beware of turquoise fakes too. Howlite when dyed blue looks very much turquoise. Yeah, and there's like, oh my god, what's the yellow one? The ring I got recently, citrine. The citrine that's like an amethyst, kind of a point with the long whiter bit at the end. I know there's a name for the kind of shape of them, but those ones are amethyst heat treated to turn them yellow. So it's effectively fake. It's fake citrine, but it's just heat treated amethyst. So it's still a real crystal. It's not man-made. It's still a real crystal. It still has powers. And and energies, but not the same energy as real citrine, you know? So you have to just keep an eye out for everything these days. They will definitely catch their karma on this side of the next. Yeah. Yeah. So, Heather, I just saw your comment. Interesting. I've heard a different story. Do you want to, if you can type in the comments, just kind of what you've heard? Um, Another one I love is I have some Libyan desert glass as well. It's just beautiful, and that's about 30 million years old. And it wasn't made in quite the same way. It was before the meteor hit the earth that the heat from it melted the sand. Well, it actually wouldn't have been sand back then. I believe they said it was just. I watched documentaries and all these things. I love watching documentaries on these kind of things too. Um, that meteor didn't hit the earth. It just melted everything before it hit, you know. Give me a few minutes to type, no bother. No, sorry, it didn't hit at all. The other one, the Libyan Desert Glass 1 meteorite, didn't hit the earth at all because it exploded, but the heat, when it was some distance up from the earth, the heat still melted everything on the ground. And the usual, everything shot up into the stratosphere, cooled, and came back down. And they're always finding Libyan desert glass because of the fact that the sand dunes move all the time. Sand is always blown around, so they're always uncovering more, you know. I have to dash, but I've really enjoyed this live. Thanks for sharing your skills, and I love hearing your stories, Jackie. Bye for now. Thanks a million, Ben. Get on to me, email me. Okay. I'd be happy to send you a feck off your feckin' Egypt mug. So yeah, guys, 52 minutes. Right now, let's just see who's texting me. It could be my daughter wanting her. When I was set up there to start the live, my daughter came in and she saw me set up and she says, "Oh, I guess I'll go to your room." So off she went to her own room, or to my room, I should say, because I was after taking over her room. It's just I have a dimmer light in my room, but it's not very dark or very bright, I should say. The light in her room is much brighter, so it's better to cool Hershey. I can go I can take one, you see, into the post office and say, lads, how best to post this and how best or how much it'll cost to send to different countries. Do you know what I mean? So Moldavite was on the meteorites already and came onto the planet that way. And the meteorites heat changed some of the surrounding area under the ground when it hit. They fused. I've never heard that. Any documentaries I've watched said that it did hit, because there is and the meteorites heat changed some of the surrounding area under the ground when it hit. Yeah, I know that one definitely hit. I know that bit's right. But yeah, the Libyan Desert Class 1 didn't hit, according to the documentary I watched, because it was a BBC documentary from years ago. I have a funny feeling it's not even on. It was on YouTube. That was an hour long. It was a BBC documentary on the Libyan Desert Glass. It was like 52, 53 minutes, something like that. But I do think the last time I went looking for it, I couldn't find it. But that meteorite didn't hit the Earth because they never found traces of a meteorite hitting, right? So they said they figured out that one exploded above the Earth, some distance above the Earth, but the heat still obviously affected all the Earth below and created the Libyan desert glass. Like my bit, you can see air bubbles inside and you can see sand inside. So like there's an air bubble inside. And it's the same with the Moldavite air bubbles inside from 15, 30 million years ago. Do you know, that's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I've never heard that version now. Moldavite was on the meteorites already and came onto the planet that way. Moldavite too is isn't it actually what the kryptonite is based on in the Superman movie, I think? And Libyan desert glass is on the mask of Tutankhamun. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. So that's the story, lads. I think that's all my stories for now. We're almost on the 1 hour mark, and you know I like to try and keep them to the 1 hour. So I actually fell for the Andara crystals. Never heard of it. Thank God I didn't spend the shitload of money people have paid for them. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up. Do you know, people actually do spend crazy money now on Moldavite. Moldavite is, you know, goes up in price all the time because of the fact that there's not much of it left, you know. They haven't been able to mine much in the last few years. Beautiful slag glass. I'll have to look it up. I don't know. No problem, Hershey. Lads, email me anyway, you know, and we'll sort that out. Because I love my mug. I mean, it's just, and it's in a perfect green color, and it has what you call it on it, a harp. Look at that, la. See, there's the harp. It says Ireland. Feck off, you feckin' idiot. I love it. So I'm going to give you one more look at these, lads, and we'll wrap it up. So there's my 3-legged one, my lovely witchy one, and my beautiful this is the kind of traditional, that's the word. I was going to say original. I was like, that's not the right word. Traditional Brigid's cross. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that, lads. It was good fun. Our stores are full of St. Pat's merchandise. Paddies. I've seen so many crazy versions of I don't know where people got St. Patty, because no one in their right mind calls him St. Patty. St. Paddy. Paddy's Day. Yeah, it won't be long now before it's Paddy's Day, I suppose, too. I'm a Gemini. My favorite color is green. Is it? I love it. And of course, you know, a healing color too. An Archangel Raphael color. I love it. You're very welcome, Hershey. Thanks, Rain. I really enjoyed it. And telling the stories and arranging to meet up with Maya up in the mountains to meet welcome to America. I know, right? Arranging to meet up with Maya in the mountains to go and visit Petticoat Lucy, Mary Hannigan. So that's the story, guys. I will wrap it up and go get myself another mug of tea before I go off to bed. Because you know me, I like to go to bed early. So thank you all for being here, lads. You're the best. And I'll talk to you soon. We know how long this end stream takes.